There we are. Can you hear me?
Greetings.
Greetings. Happy almost New Year.
Yeah, I'll be here before we know it.
Wow.
Christmas is come and gone in a flash.
Yeah, I took my tree down behind me. See, I got my little hat here ready. Oh, little,
Oh, you're okay. You're moving on, right? Okay.
yeah. Oh well, I guess I won't be able to wear it with the headphones. Didn't think about that one. Oh man, how was your Christmas?
Well, it was fine. It was good. I can't, no
Okay.
complaints. I can't say that I have a history of zero bad Christmases because that wouldn't be true. But
Mm,
this one was uneventful in a good way. So,
yeah, that's always a good thing. I've had bad Christmases. I've had mostly bad Thanksgivings.
mm,
Yeah, family.
oh yeah, I can.
Drama, just you name it.
Yeah.
So not too bad this year. It was small. It was just a couple of us, and I think my phone just notified me that, hey, I'm going live.
Yes, we
uh,
are. I
yeah,
hope I hope some other people
I,
find that out
I
because I think we're alone here.
are we? So does it mean we gotta keep chitter chatter? Oh yeah, hey, look at that. Yeah, it's on sci-fi for me. Uh,
I
wait,
did.
wait, what is? Oh, oh, that's coming up. Um, so did you get any gaming stuff done in the holidays?
No,
No.
not RPG stuff. I haven't even actually. I was hoping to get some time to catch up on reading some RPG stuff, and I really haven't. I played a couple of board games,
Hmm.
um, but no RPG,
Hmm. Okay.
which is weird because I was hoping it was like, oh yeah, the holiday's going to show up, and
You'll have
uh,
time.
right, and well, maybe I could talk about that in a little more detail if we get just one viewer. I will elaborate on
Yeah, I
anything.
tried to I tried to put the call out for some people. We'll see. We'll see if any of them join us.
It
Uh,
says three watching on
eh,
sci-fi for me right now. So
oh,
there's someone.
hey.
So let us know who you are.
Yeah, yeah, I guess I can throw the chat up. Uh, you know.
It could just be embarrassing though if we do that, right? It's like, nobody.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, here's the chat. Let's see. Nope, nobody's posted anything yet. So,
So this is when we should reveal all the secrets, right?
yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So,
There we go, Divinia,
oh, hey, Davina.
Davina,
Davina?
Davina,
Davina Duckworth, right?
Davina. Yes, welcome.
Hello. Hello. Um,
So this is just a chill stream, just kind of winding out the year. Is that it?
yeah, kinda. Just a couple of topics that, I thought about bringing up. Um, a couple of topics I just have you watched Stranger Things at all?
I watched the first season, and then I said, I think I've had enough of this.
Yeah. Mm.
It's back in boy, those were I was working. Man, what year did that first come out? That had to
It
have
was a
been
long
before.
time ago.
It was before COVID, right? I mean, it
Y
was.
Yeah, and because it kind of, in it Critical Role, and a bunch of other things all kinda converged at the same time as COVID,
Mhm.
and is what gave, 5th edition its big boost.
It's at 2016. It says first season.
Yeah.
Holy crap! I had no
Going on
idea.
10 years.
I would have said maybe 2018 or something at the. But okay,
No,
2016.
no.
Yeah. Okay. So I might as well talk about this, right? um, I
Yeah, I think it's in the topics right now,
okay.
and I
I
have seen all the way up to the first drop of 5th of season 5.
okay. Are they doing? They didn't just dump the whole thing. It's they're doing.
No,
Okay.
they dumped the first half, I think, like, right around Thanksgiving, and then the second dump was right around Christmas, and then the third dump is supposed to be New Year's.
Okay. So short order, but well, so as I mentioned, I only saw the first season, and
Right.
people that I used to do some development work in the board game industry, as kind of a sideline. And some of a lot of the guys from that were all. This is what I remember. I'm sure there were other people, but this
Mhm.
one of the guys like, "Oh, this is the greatest show ever," and da 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 da. So I'm like, okay, well, anything that has that much hype, I immediately get suspicious of, and I kind of
Mm.
personality trait is where if something is exceedingly popular, I tend to get more and more skeptical of it, right? Which is probably bad, but it's who I am.
Yeah, I mean, you build up a false expectation of negativity, yeah, but
Well,
you know what? We've been let down so much that it's not.
the thing is, when you build something up so much, it's almost impossible to for anything to live up to it.
It is.
But so in it, and well, yeah, the most the biggest example of that in my mind, in my personal experience, I should say, is Game of Thrones. But that's another topic we could talk
I was
about.
gonna say Star Wars, but, hey, they're both, yeah, you're both right. The last season of Game of Thrones was just, oh,
So anyway, it was really hyped up. And I'm like, okay, I'll watch this. I don't remember. I don't think I was watching it like I watched it after it was out for a bit, I think.
right.
And so I sat down and I watched it, and it's like, okay, this is all right. And of course, it has D&D stuff in it. And to me, my first reaction, I said, this sounds like it's written by someone who heard about what D&D is and who's never actually played D&D.
And you're
Uh,
right.
fast forward, fast forward, that was recently revealed to be absolutely
Absolutely
true.
true. Yep.
Um, but I was like, no, this is not this is not my experience with things, but fine. So
Right.
I watched the whole first season, and I was like, okay, and there were some things that I did agree they did very well. Spoiler, they're basically portraying, and probably same for you, our exact young life era, if not our direct experience. But I mean, the
They
D
did
and
really
D,
good,
yeah,
especially the 1st season, 2nd season.
that's the thing is some of those things really did ring true. You're right.
Yes.
It's like the thing about the bikes and stuff. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, we lived on those on bikes. It's that was everything to us. Because
Yes,
at
it
one
was.
point they was like, yeah, these bikes are like a Cadillac to these kids. It's like this is not something they're just going to leave. It was a point in some episode.
Yeah.
And I liked that. I thought that was really good. There were a few other things I liked. I forget Hopper, right, is the
Hopper,
sheriff guy,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
In some ways it was like there were some things that he did that just it was like, man, that was really good. I mean, it it,
right.
it struck me as being good. And there's other little things that I did like about it, like when 11 showed up and like a guy at a restaurant kind of noticed her wandering around or whatever, and he brought her in and gave her some food or something. And I'm like, okay, this is going to turn into some pervert thing or whatever, but it didn't. It was like,
Right.
wow, it's like you didn't just make the most obvious modern view of things. It's like, yeah, this guy was just a guy who was trying to help out some kid that seemed to be in trouble. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so there were things I liked about it,
Yeah.
but I didn't like it enough to keep watching. So and the more the hype got on it, the less that I cared to ever go back to it, and I didn't. So um,
Yeah, well,
well,
count yourself lucky.
yeah, well, Davina, yeah, clearly it was leveraging that kind of nostalgia thing,
It did,
and
oh, yeah, and it hit. I mean, the kids on bikes,
yeah,
the whole possible alien thing, kind of the exploration thing with the Goonies,
yeah.
did have a little bit of Erie, Indiana in there,
Mhm.
um, which, I don't know if you watched Erie, Indiana, but it was
I
really good.
I did a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
And but like, like Davina's saying, E.T., Goonie, again,
Yep.
E.T. was like a huge thing for me. I mean, I mentioned it last week, that's one of the things that got me into role playing, which,
Right.
and I like you said, fifth edition, there are people that got into fifth edition because of this show, the same way that I got into D&D because of E.T. Now without mass media,
Right.
behind it, pushing it and everything. So it's a little different, but I understand that and I appreciate that. But
They tried to capture
yeah,
our youth,
right.
at that
And
time.
and like I said, I think they did succeed in a lot of ways.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, the malls, they rented out
Mhm.
an old mall and made it up like it was still in business,
Yep.
you know? I think that was season Was that either the season finale or might have been in season 2 finale or something like that. And at any rate,
Yeah, Davina brings up a good point there. Generation kids have a history of the '80s entirely through cinematic lens. I haven't lived it. Yeah, I wonder. It's a good question. I wonder how kids of today do see that, and what it's impossible to understand what they see of it and what
right.
we experienced of it, and if those really match or not. I guess someone could do some kind of study and see what it is, but eh, I don't know. I don't know if they. That's the other question. It's like, well, yeah, this stuff hits for me, and like you said, for you too, but it can't possibly hit for the modern generation that didn't experience it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it could hit in a different way. And they might say, "Oh, that's how things were." Like if I watched Happy Days, when I was a kid or
Right.
something, it's like I never experienced the '50s. My parents did,
Yeah, I
but
mean, we had, when I was in 4th grade, I think it was, we had like a 50s day,
mhm,
a little party. I was in gifted. I was one of the nerdy little kids that got flagged as being smart, so I got stuck in gifted. And so I was in with a bunch of kids. In fact, I had the same gifted teacher 3 times throughout my public school
hmm,
life at in 3 different grades at 3 different schools. The same teacher. Same gifted teacher. Had her in 4th grade, had her again in 7th grade, and then I wanna say ninth grade. So,
wow,
in kind of the same general group of kids. Of course, in ninth grade, it was just a class because, of course, in middle school, you're not in the same class all day long. Same thing in middle school. In elementary school, of course, you that was our class. And, they were funneling money. Federal money was going for gifted students just as much as exceptional students on the other end of the spectrum.
hmm,
Um, they bust me to a special. I went to a different school for 5th grade because they tried to consolidate all the gifted students in one school.
hmm,
But then they stuck a teacher that had no idea. So in 4th grade, I had a teacher who actually had gifted children. So and she was a teacher. So she actually understood the way we thought and the kind of engagement we needed. 5th grade, they gave us a teacher who had previously taught like, a 7th or 8th grade marine biology, and she had only been teaching for like 2 years. No clue. Didn't have. She wasn't old enough to have kids. She was still on the dating scene. That type of teacher.
hmm,
And yeah, all she did was give us 8th grade work. And
hmm,
that's not what gifted kids need. They don't need 8th grade work. They don't need a grade level higher work. I mean, yeah, we could do it, but that didn't engage us. That was like, it stressed us out.
yeah,
So, I mean, the one thing I remember from that class is we had crayfish.
really,
We had crayfish, and yeah, we each got to paint like the number with nail polish on their back, and they all, that was it. I remember that's about all I remember. I went half the year there, and my parents, you know, said this is ridiculous. They took me out of that school and they put me back into private school. And so I finished off 5th and went to 6th grade. But at that point in time, we wound up moving. My parents bought a house, and we moved to where I would wind up going through high school and living, a number of a long time at. And uh, yeah, I wanted to be with the neighborhood kids because there is something to say about that neighborhood. Like you with the kids you go to high school with, you kind of remember for a
hmm,
long time, and some of them are still friends of mine today. That type of thing.
sure.
Hey, look at that. Um,
Hey, James.
yeah. Let's see. Dump all the super smart kids together. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what they did to us, Davina. They kind of consolidated them all, and as you're right, very few teachers had the gift because we did it. We were engaged in 4th grade. We were doing stocks. We were doing stock simulations and stuff like that. That was really neat. But at any rate, we had a to get back to the where I started off on that tangent. Um, oh, somebody had Green Girl's got a question for you
Green Girl has a question.
about your photo. Asking
No,
about your
it was custom made.
custom made.
Yeah.
Did you make that when I said, "Hey,
Yes.
okay." Let's have something that fits a little more roguish, maybe. So, yeah. Any rate, yeah. So we had a 50s day where we played, like we did the whole sock hop type thing and played 50s music. I put on my mom gave me a DA, if you know what a DA is. If you
Are
know what
you
a DA
talking
is,
a haircut? You're talking about?
hairstyle, the
Yeah,
hairstyle.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, where you kind of grease it and
The duck's ass, right?
yes, yes, you know.
Yeah.
But we had fun. But that's as close to the 50s as I ever would get,
Mm,
you know. It was fun, but that's the type of things that we did. So, and what when you think about it, that was what only 30 years before, I was born or well the 50s was what 20 years before I was born, 20 something
mhm,
years. So, and this is the 80s, so it's only 30 years previous. So it was closer to us then than
mhm.
God, the 80s are to us today.
Yeah, a lot. Twice as close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, and I remember the 80s like it was yesterday, and the 80s and the 90s.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you started asking about Stranger Things, and we got into the nostalgia thing,
Yeah.
and someone brought this up. Who trying to remember who was I was listening to some show and they were talking about this and it was basically about Gen Z and such and it was Yellow Flash's show last night.
Oh, okay.
And they were talking about basically uh that our culture has stagnated and I think there's a lot to it because
Mhm.
the point they were making is that the younger generations now, Gen Z or whatever, they really don't have a culture of their own. There isn't much of a a touchdown, right? It's
Right.
like we can all go back and say, "Oh yeah, that '80s stuff, we all experienced that in a common way," and it's
And no
probably
and we
because
didn't have the internet.
well,
And yet
and
we all kind of experienced the same
but
things.
that's probably why is
Yeah.
because the internet has made everything from everywhere kind of accessible and there's so much that no one can really have a common experience anymore just
Mm.
because there's not there's too many things
Yeah.
you can't like other people have talked about this. I think Jason probably has talked about this, the water cooler effect. It's like, oh, you watch a show and then you go and you talk about it and everybody talks about it because they are all watching the same set relatively small group of things.
Right.
And now there's just so many things all over the place that we have these little kind of separate groups and nothing really driving culture as a whole.
Yeah.
And I think that's true and it's probably detrimental because what are these, I mean, you and I never met before a couple of years
Mm.
ago, right? and
Right.
and and we you know uh, grew up in different places and and it's not, he's in a different but we
He's
all
in a whole
have,
country, yeah.
right? And Jason and everybody. And we all have these things. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that, and where we have this common thing
Yep.
that you can connect with someone in some way. And when you have a little common thing, then other things can kind of grow from it. And I don't know that people have that anymore at all. I, I'm not a sociologist, obviously, but I don't know what that's
I
going to
took a
lead to.
class in it.
Yeah. Okay.
Did really good at it too.
There you go. I opted for psychology instead of
So
sociology.
I
But
took psychology my first semester of college, and then I took sociology because I had to have another credit, I guess, for a couple credits. I think it was 3 credit. They were 3 credit courses. Much later on, let's put it that way, when I
Mhm.
was trying to actually finish my 2-year degree, I was on a 24-year trek to get a 2-year degree.
Hmm.
Well, originally I was going for engineering, but man, there's a lot of math in engineering, and I hate math.
Hmm.
But any rate, yeah, but you're right. We had a lot of commonality things, and uh, it's just, yeah, just no matter where we grew up, no matter what part of the country or I mean, North America, anyways. Um, we all kind of went through the same things, and I've heard from people in Europe that are our age that kind of had the same experiences. Not everybody went through the Satanic Panic. I think
Right.
it really depended on where you lived. People in California didn't have the same experience with that like those of us in the Bible Belt might maybe did,
Sure.
or you know, there was a lot of impressionable people in the I mean, 60 Minutes back then was trusted news source, right?
Hmm.
So that report was just devastating for, oh my God, are your kids worshiping Satan? And it's like, no, not really. I'm a metalhead too, so I went through the whole gambit. I got it from all angles.
Yeah. That's a whole. Did you write down all the topics from last week, by the way? All the millions of topics we came up with?
No, I got to go back through and do
Oh, okay.
that.
Well, the Satanic Panic could be one to
Yep.
kind of explore that and my experience. It was I knew about it and I had some effect from it, but not a whole lot.
Right. I
Um,
and I didn't from that side of it.
mhm,
Because the tabletop thing wasn't so much. My parents weren't horrible, but that private school I went to,
mhm.
it was a Southern Baptist school. So
Oh well, that that might
yeah,
do it.
yeah, in the South.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, they still gave spankings. They called
Oh
them licks. I never had heard the term licks before, but
yeah, they had SWATs in my
mhm.
grade school, and I probably junior high and such as well. How many satanic cults have actually been found? Well, that's a whole nother. If you want to get into that, that's probably a different kind of channel that we could talk about that, but
Yeah,
not the kind that they were talking about in the '80s, at least. Different kinds, perhaps. Um, Jeff is
yeah.
from all over, James. He's a man of mystery.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I do I not sound Southern enough? I guess. I can start kicking in the accent if I need to, but
Mhm.
I'm kind of a hmm. How do I describe it?
You're a rambling man.
Yeah, I'm a rambling man. No, so I lived most of my life in Florida,
Okay.
and but I was not born there. Um, my wife was a Navy brat. She lived all over the country. Surprisingly, she never went overseas,
Hmm.
but she lived everywhere from Connecticut to uh, Maine. I think they lived in Maine at one point. They lived in San Diego. They lived on bases that most people don't know exist, because her dad served 2 tours in Vietnam, and he was in before the Vietnam War started
Yeah.
in the Navy. Then they kicked him out when his dad died. Because he had a younger brother. Then his younger brother went in the Navy, so he like, screw this, I'm going back in.
Hmm.
And he wound up retiring from the Navy after like almost 30 years, 27 years. But the latter half of his career, he was doing recruitment. He used to go. There's a story my wife tells, and actually I heard him tell it, where when they were in Pennsylvania, which is where my wife was born, and that's where her family was from. That he went into he went into the Keebler factory and asked the reception area, said, "Yeah, I got a quota here to try and recruit some elves. We need a number of elves for the Navy. Was
Hmm.
trying to see if you guys had any that wanted to sign up and enlist."
Jokester, huh?
Oh yeah, he was great though. I miss him. My father-in-law was great.
Oh.
Um, he went to Italy and Vatican City, and he got a couple of gallon jugs of water. Got him blessed by the Pope.
Was he
That was
fighting vampire? Was he fighting
well,
vampires?
that was Pope John Paul.
Mhm,
So when he went, right, so that was a couple of popes ago now. Man, that's so
mhm.
weird because Pope John Paul, I always remember him being Pope, right?
Right, yeah,
And then boom, 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 boom. There's been like what, three since,
yeah.
and I'm not Catholic, so the Pope doesn't mean anything to me other than okay, whatever, Yeah, he's like the head of some church. Um, but but he came back, and you would not believe all the priests and bishops that were coming out of the woodwork seeking him out, asking what he was going to do with these 2 gallons of water. And his response to them was, "Well, I was thinking about taking them, pouring in some ice cube trays, sticking some sticks in them, and putting them in the freezer and making popsicles." And they were like mortified at the thought.
What I would have said is, I'm going to
I'm
keep it around just in
hunting
case.
vampires. That would have
Just
been
in
kind of,
case.
yeah.
Okay, so wait, let's. So you started with Stranger Things, and I've distracted you
Yeah,
from.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I'm easily pew.
so what did you have to say about Stranger Things? You
so
didn't sound like you loved it.
so I watched the first. I loved the first season. The second season was pretty good. Third season kind of got a little weak. Fourth season was meh. And then and it's been like so many years now. It's like, okay. So I watched season 5, the first drop, and I'm like, okay, this is getting kind of eh. And I started seeing the little woke stuff kind
Mm,
of creeping in, from the Underdark, I guess, or the whatever they call it, the Underdark. It's wrong thing. Um, and it's like, okay, they already had this one girl who likes girls that was introduced previous season. That was a big reveal and blah blah blah. Come to find out, one of the main characters now supposedly that this whole thing, the whole series, that the end of the world is going to come down to the main character having to say that he's gay.
oh my goodness! What a surprise!
As like, oh really? Really? Look, they already broke that glass barrier, as I think somebody said, you can't break the glass barrier twice, right? You already did the guess what, I'm dot dot dot, and now you're trying to do it again, but with one of the main characters, and like suddenly now he's been picked on and this and that and the other, and no, no, he actually wasn't. He was part of the core group, and all of those kids were picked on, and that was all of us back then. And yeah, yeah, Will is gay apparently. Yeah, and it did start in 2016. It did start in 2016.
Mm,
I think you looked it up, right?
yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. So it's like I don't even want to finish the season. I'm like, I mean, what am I gonna do with this thing? I don't even.
Did you buy that? Or did you get it as a gift?
No, I bought it way
Why would you
back
do that?
when.
Why?
Well, because it was kind of cool. It was.
Oh,
It was
that's not
kind
the
of.
new one. That's not the
No,
new.
this is not the
That's
new
from
one.
the. Oh,
No,
wow,
this
okay.
this is this is the first one, and it's got a Demigorgon, which of course we all complained about
Mm,
because I hate to say, but this is not a Demigorgon in
mm.
D&D. But it kind of is now because, well, Wizards, WotC. But that just goes, it's like I don't really care what somebody's personal preference is. It doesn't really bother me.
It's just such a just such a trope at this point. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, great. Uh, eh, who cares?
And the fact that they already did it,
Mm,
it's like they already did it with one of the girls who was kind of a not one of the core cast, but one of the second tier of the cast,
mm,
who's suddenly been elevated in this season to being like one of the main cast members
mm,
somehow. She was one of the teenagers, and of course they took them so long. We're talking probably, okay, so this thing has probably been in production for now 10 years for 5
mhm.
seasons.
Yeah,
Because I'm sure that this started in 2015. Yes, it came out in 2016, but I'm sure they were filming it in 2015.
sure.
So, we're talking 10-year span. Well, these kids that were 12 or 10 are now 22 or 20, and they're still trying to make them out like they're high school kids. And still trying, and some of the little ones, they're like not even close to the, I mean, there's a big difference between 5 and 15.
Hmm.
It's like you can't make it look like a 15-year-old is 10
Right.
because 5 years have passed or whatever. It's a stretch. It's a stretch, and it had already gotten long in the tooth, and they took too long to do it for too few episodes per season. My God, please go back to the normal, traditional, 20, 24 episodes, seasons like we had back in the 80s and the 90s and even before then. I mean, come on. It's just like when you drop 8 episodes, it's just it's silly. What's the point? Stop. The European model sucks. I'm sorry. When you drop 8 episodes a season, that's not a good TV series to do. I mean, you could do great, but mm, any rate. So, I'm kind of from the South. I was born in Indiana and moved to Florida in 1982.
Hmm.
At I wasn't even double digits yet.
The year of ET.
The year of ET. In fact, I saw ET in theaters in Florida. I think it was at the popcorn theater, the cheap theater.
Hmm.
So it probably would have been 83 when I saw it. But I remember Epcot opening when I still lived up north as a little kid watching it on TV. Then we moved to Florida, and um, I remember packing up the Christmas tree. we that tells you the time of year that it was.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah. So no, yeah. Go
Well,
ahead, say something. You had something on
yeah.
your mind. I don't want
Well, let's talk about ET because Stranger Things sucks, or I don't care about it. One or the other. I can't say it sucks because I didn't see the rest of it other than season one, which I
Yeah.
give like a
It's it's
C plus.
it's gone downhill.
Okay. ET, however, this is the thing we were talking a little bit about, what kids experience today and everything. For
Right.
me, ET was one of those, and like the Goonies, I know is like this for other ones.
Hmm.
It's like it's one of those things that was made, primarily for kids. It was fun for adults too, but
Yeah.
and as a kid, it's like I can imagine myself in those situations. You know what I mean? And it's that special age. Hey, weatherman, how you doing? Um, where you're unrealistic enough to have flights of fancy where you're imagining, oh, I could go on these adventures and so on and so forth. Um, and I don't know, it's pretty magical stuff. It's like I look back at that very fondly. And uh, well, first of all, I'm not sure if you're 11 years old and you're watching Stranger Things, you're probably doing it wrong because I'm not sure I would let an 11-year-old watch that show.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
it's pretty adult.
Maybe a little bit older than that, but
Yeah, maybe 14, 15, something like that. But
yeah.
some of the stuff is a little rough for little kids.
I definitely wouldn't go into the single digits with
No,
kids,
no, no
letting
way.
them watch it.
No way.
No.
But the point is, what could I don't know if kids can experience that sort of um, you know,
Number 5
fantasy world.
died.
It's yeah.
But we had good movies back then.
Yeah.
And they tried. I mean, what was it I mentioned to somebody? They were trying to create a list of Christmas movies that people don't usually think about. I said, "Battery's not included." Oh yeah, I forgot about that movie. I need to watch that movie. That's a kind of a, it wasn't a great movie, and of course, Gremlins. Gremlins. Yeah, Weatherman, you're not missing anything. Cloak and Dagger. Now that one I'm not familiar with.
Well, War Games, yeah, War Games is another one for me because as a kid, I was all over anything having to do with computers. Which I know you probably more so than me, and that's your profession. But
Shall we play a game?
but I still like that movie. I mean, that
I
was
wrote a war dialer because of that movie.
oh cool.
Yeah, back in the day, I found a couple of Couple of dial-up points too. This is pre-internet, man. Now we didn't have the internet like people know it today.
Mhm. Yeah, I well, there were bulletin boards in my day,
I ran. That's
that one person could call into at a time. I remember there was a guy who ran a bulletin board locally, and I actually met the guy in real life, which is weird because at at like a laser tag place they used to
Oh
have,
yeah, yeah.
and I kind I knew him through some other people, they knew him personally or whatever. Anyway, and I remember him talking about it's like, oh, I got a 20 megabyte hard drive. He's like, yeah, we're
I
set. We got no problems now. I got this 20 megabyte hard drive. It's like, oh god, James Hacker. Okay,
full.
James ban James. Hackers is the worst movie of all time.
Oh. Hey, you're a mod. You could do it. Just
Uh,
kidding.
oh, Davina says about Halt and Catch Fire. I watched the first season of
I.
that.
What is that?
That
I'm
was a
not
show.
sure.
I don't know if it was on AMC or something. It was basically um, a fictional show about like the early days of personal computing. I mean, that was the background of it, and it was essentially set in Texas.
Before Dell moved there.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if it was I only watched the first season, so I don't know where it went after that. But it was basically like IBM was listed in it. It's like, but this was like they were a startup, so maybe it was supposed to be something like that. Um, and again, it was fictionalized. It had a lot of garbage in it, but that was the oh god, Green Girls saying the same thing. Hackers. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, Halt and Catch Fire. It had the background. The background of the story was the tech boom of the early 80s and personal computing and everything, which again
Yeah.
is something I remember
Which
very
is it's
fondly.
when I got in.
Right.
Was the
Uh,
mid '80s.
yep. I think, well, what year did I get a personal computer? It was probably 19. Well, I'd have to look it up. It might have been 81 or something like that. Because I got an Atari 800. That was the first computer I ever had.
Oh yeah.
And man, I love that thing. I would,
So my buddy Larry Charpier had a BBS back in Florida called the Atari Party Line Express BBS, and it ran on a Atari 400, I
hmm
believe it was, and then later on he upgraded it to an Atari 800.
Yeah.
He now lives in like North Carolina, I think. That was one of the first BBSs I ever got on. And we used a 300 baud acoustic modem, with that's when I first got introduced to doing this online thing. I'm like, getting on the whole BBS thing. I'm like, this is cool. And next thing you know, I had a 1200 baud modem on my computer because I already had a computer at that point, but we weren't doing anything, right?
hmm
And I'm like, ooh. And by the time I had 2400 baud modem, I was running my own BBS.
hmm
And Lightning, but being what it is in Florida, the lightning capital, at least of North America, if not the world, uh,
Got hit, huh?
we got hit a few times. We had a giant pine tree in the back of the yard, and direct strike or not, you get that close of a hit, the EMP is going to knock stuff out. And if it knocks enough stuff out, the insurance replaced that 2400 baud. Well, they didn't make 2400 baud modems anymore. Now, I upgraded that one. Well, I went from a 1200 to 24 to a 96, because of lightning
Hmm.
at different times. And then the last time I actually upgraded to one that did like, oh, I forget what speed it was. I got the X US Robotics X whatever it was, that used X whatever. I can't remember. X there was two competing protocols for like 56K and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And actually, US Robotics did not win that one, K56 Flex one, I think, but X2, I think it was what it was. At any rate, but I actually won one of those or they gave them to anybody who showed up to this conference. They were really trying to push them out there. And I
Hmm.
went to this conference over in Tampa, all felt big and bad. And I got a free modem. That was kind of cool. But that was the days, you know.
Yep.
So
Well, do you okay? So, do you want to talk about we didn't really talk about well, before anybody showed up, we started to talk about um,
Breakfast Club.
Christmas stuff and how that might relate to some gaming things. Oh,
Yeah.
PB, welcome, PB. Yes, that is
Hey,
quite a
PB.
list.
Yeah. Tron does hold up. Tron
Yep.
does hold up. A lot of important people in Tron.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, interesting. I'm surprised how many people were in Tron that I didn't know, or didn't realize, or remember were in Tron.
Mhm.
You know, and Terminator. God, I remember watching Terminator. I don't think I ever saw The Hidden. Of course, I saw The Breakfast Club, Stand by Me. Uh, of course, now in retrospect, Stand by Me. It's like Wesley Crusher's in that one. Ew. But the rest of the movie is pretty good.
Yeah, well, it's a great movie.
Dune, 1984 Dune. So my neighbor um had Dune on VHS, the 1984 one, and he had said, um, "I'll loan it to you, but you have to read the book first." So I read the book, did a book report on it for eighth grade actually, and then I watched the movie, and it was kind of cool. Didn't the book? There is something to be said about reading a book before watching the movie. So
Mhm.
Cam is different. James is trying to out you.
Hmm.
Do you see that?
I did.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know where Cam is from. He's our interplanar man of mystery. You're our
Mhm.
man, right?
Yes,
And then,
I
what's
am
your
indeed,
pronouns,
dude, guy.
dude? Dude, bro.
Right. Yes, just the real ones, the normal ones. Anyway, okay, so what are we talking about here? Let's
We're all over the map because we're we're actually paying a lot of attention. Weird Science is a good movie too. I missed that one.
Oh my god, Weird Science was hilarious to
Weird
me
Science,
as
yeah.
a
I
kid.
loved that. Kelly LeBrock, man, and didn't everybody wanna have a Kelly LeBrock poster on their wall or their ceiling or
Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
that was kinda the Kelly LeBrock one was kind of the '80s version of the, follow-up to, what's her name? Um, uh,
Fair
um,
Fawcett.
Farrah Fawcett, yeah.
Mm,
That classic picture. Um,
yeah, that's from the 70s.
yeah, yeah, well, was it '70s? Was it
Yeah,
'79 or something like that? Yeah,
yeah. Charlie's Angels pre.
yeah,
I don't know if it was the same. It was about the same time as Charlie's Angels when she was on that. But um, so I would say we were talking again at the beginning of the show about Christmas stuff, and I sadly had to admit that I had nothing in regards to RPGs for Christmas. Now
yeah.
I can't really complain because I went on a buying spree before Christmas, getting all kinds of games, mostly from Free League Publishing, but a few others. Um,
Yeah,
and so I've got a stack to go through. So I really don't need anything else at the moment.
yeah. Chuck was a great show. I like Chuck. My mom liked Chuck too. I think,
I never watched it.
uh, you know, he worked in I forget what the name of the store was now, like a Big Buy or something like that. It was,
Yeah, like a big box
it was
electronics store.
basically it was a Best Buy thing, and he was part of the nerd herd. It was on NBC, which when I worked for Universal, I was in Universal Studios in Orlando, our IT field services, and I thought they called us Universal it. Well, Universal IT, right? But Universal it was all put together, right? They said, "Are you ready yet? Universal it." Right. Any rate, no, that's a Def Leppard throwback. But I'm like, we should call ourselves the Nerd Herd because that would fit. And NBC was the one who made Chuck, so
Mm.
I'm like, we should have adopted that, because that's what we were. We would go out and we'd fix everything from registers to desktops and laptops to you name it. The turnstiles. God, I used to fix the turnstiles at the front of the parks. Yeah, been everywhere in those two parks in City Walk. Um, Now this is in Orlando. Of course, they didn't have the new park there open, but I really enjoyed working for Universal. It was fun. Would I do it again? I'm not sure if I could do it again. I'm in my 50s now, man. I don't know if I could go back. I haven't turned a screwdriver in that in a professional manner in a number of years. And there's a difference between being in the field and being on a keyboard all the time. So,
Yeah.
um, can you move 80 pounds or more? Well, I used to be able to.
Uh, you know, um, this is kind of relate. Davina said there about Chuck Great until the last season. Someone else
Yeah.
was asking about today. It's like, and this is a valid question. I think that it can any show ending satisfy audiences in the internet age?
Remember Lost?
Well, yes, that
That
was
that was my first experience with JJ.
right. Yeah, I was already skeptical about him at that point, but yeah, that's a good example. But then you have, obviously Game of Thrones is a
Yeah.
huge, uh, bomb, and Stranger Things, everybody's now expecting it to be a bomb,
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and
it's 50 it's, like, got the popcorn half fell over or whatever on the rating.
right, and Battlestar Galactica, the newer Battlestar Galactica,
It went off
you
the
know,
rails for me. Yep.
right, and so I mean, it's more common that people think. Are disappointed with endings of things. And I think a lot of that is probably because people don't producers, I mean, they probably don't have a good idea going in um to what they're going to do with the show. And well, Babylon 5, which we're reviewing on Wednesday nights, by the way, everyone tune in.
Yeah.
um that is a show that had an idea of where it was going from the beginning. It had some giant boulders dropped into its stream, but JMS, J. Mike Straczynski, adapted and got back on track, and so on and so forth, and had this vision on where he's going with this story. I highly doubt that most of these things coming out today have any such plans, and that might be part of it. But on the other hand, I don't want to jump on the toxic fandom bandwagon, but
Right.
it you can't please everyone, right? And
Yeah.
today, if you have the internet, which we do, of course, those voices are going to be elevated regardless of how big or small they are, right? I mean, most
Right.
people aren't going to say anything. So the people that get activated, positive or negative, are going to seem to have the same weight behind them.
Right.
So I really don't know. Like, for example, Battlestar Galactica, I know a lot of people didn't like it. I was okay with it. It wasn't my favorite ending, and I thought it did have some issues, but I wasn't like, oh, this is a disaster. And
Yeah.
then more recently, uh, My Hero Academia, which again, a lot of people, that's normie anime, but it ended, and I had some problems with, it's like, I wish they would have gone a different direction or whatever, but I was okay with it. But other people are just absolutely pissed off. Oh my God, this is the worst thing ever. It's like, and maybe it's because those kinds of reactions are rewarded to some degree, but maybe storytelling just isn't what it used to be either.
Eh, you know, I think just like with Star Wars, with Disney Star Wars, the only good movie they did in that Disney did in Star Wars was Rogue One. And the reason why Rogue One was okay was because it had a definitive ending that was already there. That was
Mhm.
hard. It was a hard stop.
Yeah.
They had to end at the beginning of episode 4.
Yep. I I,
And
I agree. I love Rogue One.
yeah, Rogue One was great. And Rogue One was exactly what we wanted. And then they started picking they played musical directors,
Mm.
and they gave JJ and they there was no, as you say, there was no arc. There was no plan to it. Like JMS has done, he's got a plan for this 5 years, right?
Well,
Um,
yeah, literally, uh, Ryan Johnson, who was doing the middle movie of a trilogy, had zero interest in what the story was before or
he
what
just
would
took
come afterwards.
everything and crumpled it up and threw it away, and it's like,
Yeah,
"Nope,
I mean,
I'm gonna go my own way and make my own thing. I'm gonna try and divide the fan base because that's what I think a good movie does.
yeah, I and
It's
it's
not an
what
IP. Do it to
you,
your own movies."
I was just talking about this yesterday, I think it was, and it's like I was talking to some friends, and I'm like, "Remember how excited we were about Star Wars before Last Jedi?" It's like,
Dude, you
"Eeh."
know, I even the first one, it was like,
Force Awakens,
oh,
you mean?
yeah, for well, in Force Awakens, I said the first one, but in Force Awakens, it was like I had to forgive a lot, but I was
Yeah,
willing
yes.
to.
100% agree.
I
It
was
was
like,
it
"Okay, I see they're trying to reboot they're trying to reboot the people into the franchise, so we're
Yep,
gonna, okay, that's why you kinda just did now it's bigger than a Death Star, it's a planet now, and now it's
right.
this and that, and it's we're
Yes.
just going
It
bigger and
yeah, you're right. It had various flaws, but it was like it was nothing that couldn't be
couldn't have been
surmounted.
recovered from."
And I went into episode 8, Last Jedi, and I was
Yeah,
like, it was like, I had some expectations, like, you have to the things that were dangling from the first one, you have to progress or resolve, and
right.
and 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 I don't know if I was delusional or whatever, but I went into that thinking this is going to be great. I'm like, yeah, they're going to move this forward, and because
Boy,
I
were
didn't,
we wrong.
oh my god, and I literally I walked out of there and I was just stunned, and I was like, you've got to be,
Did
excuse me,
d
you've got to be kidding me. What did I just see? This was,
I walked out like this.
yeah,
"Huh." That was the first words out of my mouth was to my wife. Jeanette and I, we went and saw it, and I went, "Huh,
yep,
uh, what did I just see?" I didn't my brain was still trying to figure it out. It was like, "Did they just trash Star Wars?" I
yep.
I couldn't it was like I could not
Right.
comprehend.
Same thing. It was like, again, I was driving home with a group of people, and it was just like, I walked out and I was kind of like, but it was by the end of the drive home, I was like, I'm starting to formulate my. It's like,
Yeah.
what was wrong with this? It took me a good half hour to really. I was literally stunned. Right.
Y
It's like I can't believe how bad that was.
yeah,
Unbelievable.
yeah. And then, and so I saw Force Awakens 3 times. Yeah, 3 times.
Hmm.
Um And it was alright, and I like I said, I forgave it, but it was okay. I'm like, "Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna see it a few times," right? Last Jedi I saw once,
Hmm.
and the only reason why I saw The Rise of Palpatine,
Yeah.
because she's no goddamn Skywalker. She's not even a fucking Jedi person. Sorry, sorry, sorry.
I I didn't even bother seeing it.
I
Again,
saw it, but I wanted to I treated it like a comedy, and
mhm.
oh my god.
I haven't
I
seen it to
just
this day. It's again, lifelong Star Wars fan from
once.
day one, and I was just like, no, I well, we talk about this on Jason's show. It's like,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of people,
And I'm sorry, Jason, I didn't mean to drop an F-bomb on your channel too.
oh no, oh no,
I'm gonna hear about that. I'll
oh
have to go
boy,
mute that out.
there goes the monetization. But it's like I don't even care anymore. It's like it's just one
Yeah.
of those things. It's like so much of a. It's funny we're talking about sci-fi on the show.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
science fantasy,
we're
but
it's yeah.
but it was like it's just it's like all or nothing with me. It's like I can't just keep going on and pretending that, oh, if only they would fix this. They don't have an interesting in fixing it in terms of what that
Right,
means to me.
right.
Um yeah, James, JJ is absolute garbage. How many franchises is he gonna, oh, although again, he Ryan Johnson took the cake from from uh from JJ, in terms of sucking and destroying a franchise.
He did.
Well,
We knew John okay, we already knew at this point from everything, JJ had done, JJ can't finish. He can't stick the landing.
no, no, and nothing.
So it was okay that he did the first one. all right. But then Ryan Johnson just like ripped everything, all the little things that he had set up,
Hmm.
that JJ had set up that could have gone somewhere. Nope, we're just gonna trash all that. And by the way, Palpatine's back. And then JJ had to come in and fix it. And of course, we knew he was not able to stick that landing. So, he just I was a comedy. I watched it as a comedy. I literally laughed out loud the whole movie. I'm
Hmm.
sure some people that were like fanboys of the Disney Trek or Disney Wars or whatever we're gonna call it, were probably annoyed with me. But at that point, I didn't care. It would to me, I just had to see it through to completion and see how bad and when you got space horses, you haven't seen it, so you don't even know.
Well,
There's
I
space
heard about it. Yeah,
horses.
yeah, I know.
No,
It's
and I'm not talking about the ones that they set free when they were on the useless chase to nowhere in the second one.
Mhm.
Um, this was literally horses riding on top of the ships
Yeah.
on this planet, Exobite or whatever, and it's like, oh my god, it was just so like, let's throw everything at it and piss everybody off, I think is what they were trying to do. At least they killed the Raylo thing. They put a stake in the heart of that one. But you're right. It's hard to separate them. Do I have a fishing pole? Yeah, I almost ran into one. It almost got me in the throat walking down the ramp outside the house. Damn. Is James a troll?
James. Um. Well, anyway. Um. Okay. Did we want to talk about plans for the future, or
Yeah, let's let's go. What are we planning on doing next year? What would you like to do gaming wise? Gaming wise. So there are some things that I did start this year.
Mhm.
I'm in a game with Chubby Funster. Greg Christopher is his name, but a lot of people know him as Chubby Funster. Called Shadow Rim, which is based on Shadow Dark rules, but it's Skyrim based basically. It's a Skyrim theme type
Mhm.
setting based with on Shadow Dark rules. Done really really well, and that game is tomorrow night at 7 p.m. So that's going to continue on, I think, probably into the new year for a little bit. Very exciting. Um, I talked to a guy earlier today who was introduced to me by GM Bloodworth, um, who might still be streaming right now. I think he is actually. Yeah, he's still going. But they were talking about XP and stuff like that earlier. I was watching him. But he was introduced to me, and we're like, yeah, brothers from other mothers, that type of thing.
Mm.
Right around the same age, kind of like us.
Sure.
And he might be running an OSE game set in the Tolkien universe.
Really?
So that's kind of something. I've never played OSE. Now you
Okay.
have probably, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Yep.
Yeah. So
It's basic D&D. And
yeah,
BX
it's
D&D. It's
BX. Yeah.
yep.
So
But actually this old school essentials is what OSE is, and it's a very nicely packaged, re not revised, reformatted version of BXD&D that's put out by uh, Necrotic Gnome, right?
yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah, and they again, it makes things real easy. And not that the BX books, you could get original PDFs or
Right.
PDFs of the originals, and those are worth reading, by the way, even if you don't use them at the table. But the OSE version, and there's a lot of different ways you can get it for pretty affordable prices. Um, uh, it, it it simplifies things a little bit, just because of the format. It presents it a little better.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't do it. Go ahead with whatever you were.
No, no. I was just thinking. Is that the one? So is that the one that they're going to be repackaging again? And
Yeah,
there's some controversy, and I've heard Tenkar, my buddy Tenkar, Eric Tenkar from Tenkar's Tavern. He was kind of they're getting rid of the basic and just going with the expert.
is that what they're doing? Because okay, so what they there is they came out with the first thing they came out with, it was just the basic OSE, which is literally BX, up to level 14.
Yeah,
BX meaning basic and expert D&D from the 1981 version of the game. And so it's been presented in several different ways. It was like it's like a series of booklets, and then they compile those into one thing, like a player's book and a DM's book. And then they came out with an advanced one, which was, it's not advanced D&D. It's still using BX rules and everything, but they basically expanded it, taking classes and things and then like formatting them to BX. And then they also split out the class and race. So it's halfway between advanced D&D and BX, let's say.
yeah.
And
Because originally it was like a blue and a red book, right? You got the BX set, and the blue book was the basic, and the red book was the expert. Was that the way that was?
if they did, that's before I mean, the
I
original
mean, I'm
game.
talking about original,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. So yeah, the
the
original
WotC version or the TSR version
TSR,
before
yeah,
WotC. Yeah,
yeah. Basic was well, they call it a red box. The book was red. The box wasn't red. The Beckme version that came out in 1983 was a red box, but the original one, the original, well, not the original Basic.
kind of like
It's really the
what they
second.
modeled that one after,
Yeah, that's more like the Beckme one, which
right?
is the 83 version. The 1981 version, which is Moldve Basic, Moldve Cook, because Cook is I guess the primary author of the expert one. Anyway, the first one, that's the one that came with the basic rulebook and the Keep on the Borderlands B2 module.
Right.
And that went from level 1 to 3. And then the expert one, which is the blue one, they had a box set for that, but you could also buy the rulebook separately. And that's the blue book that goes and takes everything up to level 14. So it's more spells and more monsters and everything like
Okay.
that. Same game though. So
One's
yes,
kind
that
of an intro, like some more simplified rules, and then
well,
those rules expanded. Is that
you're
how would
saying
you describe it?
between the red and blue, you mean?
Yeah,
They did expand rules, like they had things for building castles and boats and stuff like
yeah,
that. So there were some expanded rules, but the same rule system. And and again, this is basic D&D, which is different from advanced Dungeons and Dragons. There really
yeah.
are kind of two different game systems, although similar in a lot of ways. Um, anyway, but OSE, started out with BX, the red and blue book stuff. And that's their basic game. And then there's the advanced game, which incorporates things that were never in basic D&D, but took things from Advanced Dungeons and Dragons and adapted it for the BX system.
Okay.
Now, my understanding is what they talked about um, in recently with Necrotic Gnome is, again, they had released it in many different formats and different ways of doing it.
Yeah.
And I think that it's like there's just too many different products. We're going to basically put out the basic version and the advanced version. Um, their advanced version different from advanced D&D, and so they're kind of cutting their product offerings, but the content is still there. I'm not sure if that's what your buddy was talking about, Tankar, or not, but that's what my understanding is.
I want to say that if somebody had done, and I don't, it may not have been old school essentials. Maybe it was. Uh, let's see, OSE BX. Is that OSE versus BX? Let me see. Uh,
Yeah,
OS, yeah, OSE, yeah, old just killed BX. So this is Tinker's Tavern right here. He's talking about, so yeah, the necrotic gnome, yeah.
okay. What does it say specifically?
So they are basically they are going to be revising it so the next printing will not have the basic rules.
Okay.
It will
Um,
have the expert. Now, from what everybody now I've heard counter arguments to this that says, yeah, but everything that's in the basic is also in the expert.
mhm.
So just take out the stuff you don't want.
Yeah, I'm guessing that all the content is going to be, meaning if you wanted to play it like the 1981 Molde Basic, you still could, because I like right now I have both versions, and the advanced one does have like the race as class thing still in there, but it also has it broken out, so you can do it either way.
Yeah.
Um, and they also have in there a variant, so you could have either ascending or descending armor class, whichever
So
you prefer.
so here's the let me see if I can just like that. No. I said on the side. That's not the side. No. Here. You know, I can't win. Whatever. Let me hide this. Maybe it's because I've got the chat on. Let's take that off there. Maybe that off for this. Yeah. Okay. It's the chat. Sorry, chat. Do. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons. Okay. So this is where they're going with this, right?
Mhm.
Necrotic gnome. It's the 7th birthday, so they're only 7 years old, and they've seen the game grow. Yada yada yada. Core rules consolidation, and this is where they publish classic fantasy rules tome, the advanced fantasy players referee tomes, the classic game set, and the advanced expansions. That's 5 products. And look, they use the fancy spelling. Uh, so what they're going to do is just going to be the 2026 update of OSE, and it will be the definitive OSE core books. So they're going to focus on Peter Mullen's art, whatever, blah blah blah. That's just kind of what's new. New art, 200. Okay, introductory glossary index, basic play appendices. So they're relegating the designation to the appendixes.
What is it? I can't read it. What does it say there that you highlighted?
Okay, let's see. Can you read that?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Appendix kind is derived from basic expert rules and provides additional tables for those seeking a core BX experience. Okay. Glossary index. Well,
So,
maybe.
so Tenkar's upset about it. Bloodworth is like, I don't think that's a bad thing. So there's some disagreement in the community that we're kind of gravitating towards us those of us that have decided that WotC is not the place to be.
Hmm.
Um, they're adding optional rules to tweaking minor rule fixes. Of course, everything is going to be. Of course, they're going to say 100. Didn't WotC say that about 2024?
Yeah, but you know what? I am not. This doesn't concern me. I think that this. I think the content will be there. It's not hard to see in any case, and
Yeah.
and if you wanted to, I'm sure. Well, pick up an old copy. Pick up a copy of the old ones right now. You know what I mean?
While you can, yeah.
Yeah. Um,
This one, okay, OGL free. Believe it or not, there probably will be a lot of people complaining about this
Hmm.
more than you realize. And not because it's OGL free, but because we heard about this after the Troll Lord Games Reforged came
mhm,
out, particularly with spell name changes.
mhm.
Magic Missile is now Magi's Missile. Well, I don't like CNC now because now they renamed all the spells.
Yeah, there's
Well, they
always.
kind of had to,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. They don't want to get. They're like they're dropping the OGL out of their. They're like, nope, we're not going to be part of the OGL. We want nothing to do with it. Take my name off of it.
Mhm.
But you know, any right.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the good news. No matter what you want to do, what version you want to play, in the modern world, you'll be able to get a copy of it. Right?
Right.
If you drive through, you could probably still buy the originals. In the original format. Um, if not, there's probably other places you could find it as well. Same thing with this. It depending on what format. Like you said, I've got different. I've got it in different formats. You know, the advanced and the basic. And I honestly, I never look at the basic one because the for me the the content is all there in the advanced one, and I can easily discern, you know, what's what
Yeah.
between them. So I think it'll be fine, and people will be able to play no problem. Um, it's
Well,
I really do like this company. I think they've done a great job. I've not heard them mouthing off about anything.
I might pick it
Yeah,
up.
so
Just, I don't have a problem with it. You know, you can't see this one. This
I
is
like it.
bad.
I really do like it.
But yeah, Tenkar, my buddy Tenkar here. OSE just killed BX. So
I'll have to watch that video and see.
yeah, yeah. And don't get me wrong, I love Eric. He's awesome. Um, I don't agree 100% with everything anybody says. Do you?
No,
I mean, we all kind of have our own opinions.
yeah. Well, hey, maybe that basic version I've got will go up in price, and I'll be happy to sell it to some people.
There you go. Yeah, somebody could you
That's right. Although again, I have the original red and blue BX books,
do you?
so I don't even need these other ones. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
but, you know, at this point though, I don't like beating up my old stuff. You know, it's like I'd rather keep it museum quality than beat it up. You know, so I bought like extra copies of things. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm starting to do that now. I've got extra. I mean, I have two-player handbooks from 5th edition, but
Mm.
that's because the first one fell apart.
You want a third one? Because
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
need
yeah,
mine.
yeah. You want a D&D starter set?
Uh,
Free rainbow flag included.
yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
okay.
god.
So, any other immediate plans for your RPG future beginning of
Um,
2026?
well, I do have something I'm working on. Hopefully, I bought this ginormous 100-inch long calendar. It's 36 inches by 100 inches. Unfortunately, I love it, but the adhesive that came with it fell off the wall, and you're like, oh, it did the adhesive pads that they included with it did not stick to the wall. No, they're still on the wall. The calendar fell off the sticky pads.
Hmm.
So, but one of the things I was doing is I've been mapping out all the potential cons when they are from a core group of people that are in like the OSR, OSE, CNC, that group, a core group of people, because I'm looking at launching one here sometime next year.
Hmm.
So that's going to be focused. If somebody wants to play 5th edition, I don't care. But really, the people that I'm looking at inviting are going to be, people that want to play any of the old school stuff or the adjacent. Shadow Dark would be cool. Chubby said he'd come up. Greg Christopher. I can't help not help but myself call him Chubby Funster. He goes by that, but everybody knows him, his real name too. So I'm not doxing him. That's it's out there. He said he'd come up. Eric Tenkar, he said, oh, I just need an excuse to go to Tennessee. So it is something that I'm looking at doing. Um, I got to wait until January, and I already got a domain name pulled and all kinds of stuff. So it's coming. I'll talk more about it in the future, but it's something that I'm planning. I figure if I can't get people to show up at my house, maybe if I try, if I get them to pay for a badge for a weekend, they'll show up to a con.
Hmm.
Who knows? You know. And of course, I don't plan on making money off of it. It's really kind of one of those labor of love things.
Kind of like the original Gen Con.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just got to be able to cover the cost of the venue, and that's kind of where I'm looking at. So,
Mhm.
but
Well, would you like to hear?
maybe I'll get Cam to come out, and he just won't tell me who he is. And you know,
Right, I'll just be there, and it's like he'll interact with me the whole time. You're like, "You sound familiar." I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking
yeah,
about,
I don't know
bud."
what you're talking about. Yeah, and then we'll do another show after it, and be like, yeah, man, I'm so exhausted, and blah blah blah. Yeah, I went to this really sucky con.
I don't want to roast them. I won't tell you who it is, but
Yeah.
um, would you like to hear about my immediate plans?
Sure.
Okay. As I may have mentioned, I was playing a Dragonbane
Mhm.
um, uh, campaign, and they're probably maybe 2/3 of the way through it,
Yeah.
depending. There's some random stuff in there, but I'd really like to finish that up and put a bow on it, and then uh, like I mentioned, I bought a lot of other games from Free League: Aliens, Blade
Mhm.
Runner, Fasten, um, Coriolis. So there's various sci-fi ones there, and I think the one I'd like to try is Aliens or Alien, I should say.
Yeah.
That would be one to try, and then uh, there is that
Yeah.
Twilight Sword game that is
Yeah.
kind of based on. It's a similar rule set to Dragonbane. It's being published in cooperation with Free League Publishing. That it's kind of a very anime one, and I'm wondering if I can get my group to play that. Um, Maybe in the middle of the year, kind of thing. It's not supposed to come out until July, I think, of 2026. So I'm kind of angling for that. But then there's also a game called Nimble, which is supposedly a 5e compatible game.
I've heard of that one.
I picked up the box set for that, which is pretty darn expensive, but um, that's one I kind of want to try and see. And it says 5e compatible, and that's like it's like saying, well, is it just a D20 game? I don't know. It seems quite different from 5e to me, but I want to at least try that one.
Yeah,
Um,
there's the alien one.
yeah, they just put out a new edition for that.
So the Blade Runner,
Mhm,
I I've heard so Seth Skorkowski did a review on it.
mhm.
Um,
So did Dungeon Professor DM did one too.
Professor DM. And I heard it's really good if you play with the pre-gens and everybody and you've got all the players
Mhm,
that you can. Um, it may be a one and done type of thing, where
mhm.
you do one
Yeah, yeah. uh,
because it's got such detailed information for I don't even know what they call the GM in it. Storyteller. What's their terminology
I
for
don't
it?
remember what it is for that. For Alien, it's the mother. Like the ship, the
Yeah.
computer, his mother. I don't remember what it is for Blade Runner offhand, but
But I've heard that it's really, really good, especially for people that are into that genre,
mhm.
that loved Blade Runner.
Yeah, Professor DM was really heaping praise on it.
Yeah, yeah, and it's done expertly, and it definitely is a labor of love to it.
Mhm.
But if the players are not into Blade Runner,
Right.
they might not enjoy it. If they're
I
not into
I think that's definitely the case. It is very immersed in that world and the themes and such of it.
right, there you go. This
There you go.
Dungeon Craft that is Professor
Yep.
DM.
Yep.
Blade Runner is a sci-fi masterpiece. I don't know who Boss Rush is. I don't know if they included
Polygon,
self
Screen Rant, ignored, ignored.
Wargamer, Borg. I don't know what Borg is. RPG Academy. Never heard of them. Genio. The Ennies.
Uh,
Forget the Ennies. The Ennies are nothing. They're a bunch of crap. It's
yeah.
all popularity. Although Seth Grukowski did win an Ennie, I think, whatever. But they've gone downhill. They're kind of useless,
Yeah.
other than
World used to
for
be
news.
really
They used
good.
to be definitive source for news, and now they're just kind of like a meh.
Yeah.
They're woke, bunch
Yeah.
of woke idiots for the most part.
Yeah.
Oh, but yes, I do like Seth tends to play himself just non-political and whatnot. Professor DM for the most part does the same thing.
Mhm.
Um, and yes, I did get my screening. 'Cause, if you know, you know.
Uh-huh.
He had a scare with
Yes. Yeah. I did. He talked about
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And thank God because the guy's smart. I love him to death. I would love to meet him in person.
Yeah. It seems like
He
a
is
really Solid guy.
He is part of the Green Dragon Fest thing,
Yeah.
as is Baron DeRop. And
Yeah, there's other guys that are in his circle that I don't like so much, but I don't need
yeah,
to. So,
and I don't have anything against Baron. I probably would like to meet, but the problem that I have with like Green Dragon Fest is it's $1,600
mm,
just for the event, and if you want to stay, it's more. It's like, well, first of all, I don't live far away from Knoxville. Okay, I could be in Knoxville in less than an hour.
mm,
Um, yeah. Anybody? I'm in East Tennessee. Yep. No, I make no bones about it. Hence the name Tennessee Tabletop Tavern, right?
there you go.
Um, but there's not you know, that's not a con for everybody. That's a con for rich people.
Hmm.
That is not even a con. That is a private, exclusive, arts and croissant crowd type game for people of a particular income bracket. And I'm not into that, even where near that income bracket. No, I don't make multiple six figures. I don't even make six figures. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's like that's rich people that can afford that. That's the type of people that have Warhammer 40K money. Sorry.
Right.
And that's my biggest gripe against it. And I'm like, I went to another con. It was cool, but it was like all the tabletop stuff got relegated to the mezzanine section, and you know, and the focus of this con was mostly Warhammer 40K and the Star Wars equivalent to Warhammer 40K.
Mm,
With the big 8 foot by whatever 4 foot by 8 foot tables and or 5 by 10 tables and elaborate sets with this and that and people measuring with yardsticks and stuff like that. Hey, more power to them. I'm glad they enjoy it. I'm glad they have the money to afford to buy all the minis and all that stuff. I don't. Um, I did play in a game with minis
oh yeah.
for the first time in the 40 years I've been playing. I played in a game with minis last Sunday.
Hmm.
Yeah. Did I mention that?
You mentioned that you hadn't played with minis.
I had not played with minis before, and that was the first game I actually have ever used miniatures in. So, Weatherman, you take it easy. He's got a migraine again. Yeah, we need you. So,
Yep. Thanks,
yeah,
Weatherman.
yeah. And
Um,
Davina doesn't like Games Workshop. I'm
no.
I don't. Yeah, they've gone woke too, just like Watsy. They're woke.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I'll tell you. You know what I'd love to do in 2026?
what's that?
Actually play a game, any game, any
Yeah,
campaign. But if I had my choice, what I would really want to play is, and I've been saying this for a while now, I would love to play a first edition D&D game run by somebody who really knows how to run it,
yeah, yeah.
'cause it's been a long time.
Yeah. I don't I mean, I've played first edition, but it was in the '80s, and I kinda don't really remember what it was like.
Mhm.
It was so long ago. I mean, I was in 7th grade. I don't think we knew what we were doing anyways,
Right.
but, that's the other problem too. Yeah, somebody with the cred. So it's gotta be somebody that's probably pushing 70 that would be able to run it properly for us.
Yeah.
We need, like, a Rob Kuntz or, somebody along that lines.
Oh, man. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, I would. I'm down. I'm down. Hey, I already told him on X, man. I'm like,
Yeah, I
hey, if
saw
you're
that,
ever
I
gonna
saw
come
that.
on the show,
Yep.
we'd love to have you.
Yep. He's a
Yeah.
busy guy, though, I know that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think he lives overseas too. I do
Yeah, in, like,
have.
Malta or something, I think, or
Yeah, I do have. I do have this. Hopefully, it doesn't make it translucent. This is by him. This is an adventure by him.
cool.
Um, for levels 10 through 12. And this came from Three Line Studio. It's the guys that do Arduin, uh, or not Arduin, the Tonisporg, the one that print Tonisporg. These guys.
Mhm.
I got that with at the same time I got this. the Blackmore Foundation. So I'm which this is a really good book. At some point, I'm going to be able to do a review. It's got like all the classic print stuff in it.
Hmm.
So
As if on cue, Agile Monk in
hey, Agile.
in the chat says he's a specialist in first edition D&D.
There you go. We'll get Agile to run a game for us. I would like to say I'm friends with him, right? Right, Agile. We could be, we're buds, right? We DM each other every now and again. He messaged me on Christmas.
If invited, I will play.
Oh, okay. We just got to find a time to do it without stressing your schedule out. Now we'll probably need a 4-hour block.
Each session, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, probably, sure.
Yeah. We'd
Okay.
have to find a time.
Controversy being stated here. Agile Monk is saying 74 OD&D with chainmail and outdoor survival, which there has been a lot of controversy about whether chainmail is needed or wanted.
That's in the news lately, or in the
right,
circles.
And Rob Coots said no, it's not. And I don't know why this became a point of contention, and I don't care about that.
It doesn't matter to me.
But, yeah, I mean, it's some kind of argument, but well, that might be an interesting discussion to have if people could do it without getting angry at each other. But if Rob's perspective is like, oh, well, we never use it at the table, is what he said, and it's
right.
Yeah, but I mean, if that's in your DNA, though, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, that's our background, and we grew out of that, or we played it, and it's like, yeah, you come to the table and you're playing this new thing. You know how OD&D, well, I don't know how OD&D was. I never played in those days, but the point is that I imagine people, it was not a game written like it is today. It's like, here's the rules. It's like this was an amalgamation of a lot of stuff. I mean, he just mentioned, it's talking about all these different things, and you're bringing knowledge from outside. I have a copy of OD&D, and I can't make heads or tails of it, right? If I'm trying to do it, for just from the text, it's difficult. So
Bloodworth's in here too. Hail, Bloodworth. I saw you, and I have you up on this monitor up here, and I was watching, and I'm like, yeah, they just ended.
Okay,
they overlapped us by an hour.
We're getting some veterans in here, so
but
anyway, that's I don't care one way or another, about that. I don't think I'm ever going to play OD&D. It's like I don't really have a reason to. It's to me, it's like what you call like a beta test by today's computer things and such. It's pre whatever, and I just have, if I want to play old school, in quotes, I'd play BX or first edition,
right?
But first edition is the thing that I've been for the last couple of years. Again, I've been really kind of delving into it, and Dungeon Delver, which of course,
I know Bill. Yeah,
he's done all kinds of great videos on first edition stuff, very informative. So I recommend anybody who's interested in watch those. But it's just something I'd like to revisit.
And well, and funny you mentioned Delver. He's on my list of guests to get on the show. He's already said he would love to come on.
Great.
So yeah,
he seems like a nice guy.
Oh yeah. I think I might be a Patreon of his or whatever. But I love his stuff. He did some stuff with Gary,
right?
So Teeth Barkash Nor, is that? Sorry if I mispronounced it, Bill. Please don't shoot me. But I would love to have him on. Bloodworth is on my list, so we might as well get Agile at some point on here, man. Agile and I think we played in the game with Trollord too. So that was kind of cool.
Well, that's another one. Castles and Crusades. I have it. I did I didn't do a review because I never played it, but that's another one that I would love to play.
I have played it. I played it with Chuck from Trollord. I was the last one to die. My little 4 hit point wizard was the last one to die.
There you go.
I managed to survive to the end. So to me, that's winning. And of course, all of us were seasoned DMs, right? So, so we were like, oh, hell yeah, kill us. We don't care.
Right.
I'm good with that. Yeah. I'm not trying to die. I didn't have a death wish. you know?
Yeah.
I just happened to grab that magic sword to try and fight off this giant froghemoth type thing, and I didn't notice that, as soon as I hit something with this sword, that it sucked life energy from me.
Mm,
Yeah,
oopsie.
oopsie. That's what killed me. And then I got eaten whole.
Mm.
So, but I was the very last one to survive. I died. I was the last one to die. So
That's a badge of honor.
it was. I want to. I'm gonna print up a T-shirt. I keep on threatening to do that with Chubby's games too. Said I was killed by Chubby Funster and I liked it, or something like that.
And then have check marks, like how many times
Yeah,
you can
yeah. But
put on there.
I haven't died in his game yet. I'm playing a Nord,
Okay.
so which which is kind of interesting. I I have the game, the original, the computer game, but I bought it and then I was like got so involved trying to finish my degree that my kid, I got like 700 hours racked up. No, which is nothing because some people have 12,000 hours. But I think I played it from like I probably had 50, 60 hours of time because you know how Steam shows how many time hours played, right?
Mhm.
And then like the other 600 and something or other, that was my kid that played, you know, because he had time. He was a kid, he was a teenager, right? So he did all the playing, racked up all those hours under my Steam account.
Mm.
But I'm a Nord. I do shouts. I don't really cast any magic. I just do shouts.
Hmm.
So that game is tomorrow at 7 o'clock. I will be streaming it here as well as it'll be on Chubby's show, Erudite DM, and I don't know if Better with Bacon is streaming it too. He's Better with Bacon is in the game. Now, Better with Bacon, he is a 4D guy, and I'd love to get him on at some point, but he's a player only. He does not run games.
Hmm.
Are you familiar with this 4D thing?
No.
So him and Crispy uh, are really big on this 4D thing, and the way it was explained to me, you're always in character when you're playing the session.
Okay.
I'm not sure I could go full 4D. He does not play that way, by the way, in this game that we're in tomorrow night. I'm not sure if he's getting any flack, but the rest of us aren't quite in that mindset, so we're not used to playing that way. But that is something that he's really into, and yeah, it's kind of interesting because instead of going, so can I do blah, or you know, is there a glass on the bar of whiskey, or something, right? You just go unknown, after okay, you enter this bar, this smoky filled bar, blah 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 blah, and you're like, okay, I walk up to the bar, I grab the guy's drink and drink it, as if that's you don't even know that the guy has a drink in front of him, but now you just helped create the game at the same time. So,
Mhm.
and now you start a fight, and then I punch him in the face or what, you know. And it's like, okay, it's that you literally say what you do, and it doesn't really matter, what that's what's going to happen. Now you're
Hmm.
you're going to at least attempt it. Um, again, it could. So I'm sure I'm totally bastardizing the whole. Yes, Crispy. I love Crispy. I love watching his videos where he goes back and kind of he does unsolicited advice, where he'll watch some of these live streamers and go back and do. Greg Christopher, Tubby Funster, actually invited him to come and look at one of the games that he had done before. So one of the series of games he was running that had a couple of my other buddies in it. So that's kind of an interesting thing. Um,
Cool.
let's see what else is going on. So we have, no show on Wednesday for Babylon 5, right?
Correct.
Um,
Well, there is no show Snob is doing a show, but it's
Is Snob
not
doing
the
a show?
Babylon. Yeah, it's just a hangout though. It's not not a Babylon 5 review show.
Yeah. So it's not a right. So, but on the 7th, we are doing our Babylon 5 show. And we have a very special announcement of who our mystery guest is going to be on the 28th.
Mm.
And we've had people guessing all kinds of things. Couple people may or may not have guessed right. I can't say. Um, but the mystery. I mean, I've Better Bacon. He was like, "Don't tell me you got Tron on," and I'm like, "I can't say."
You've got
but
it that well, it's somewhat associated with the show. That's all we can really
it
say.
is someone associated with the show. Yes, yes, it's definitely somebody, and we're excited, and we can't. I can't wait to release that information. Oh, and Agile, thank you so much for the super chat.
Nice.
Hopefully that'll make up to, to Jason for my f bomb drop. I'm normally pretty good about it, but uh, that just that whole thing gets me. You guys are doing a show tonight, right, on Sci-Fi Snobs channel?
Yes, coming up in 21 minutes from
Yeah,
now.
so it's almost about time for us to pull the plug on ours. So you can go take your break and refresh, get your makeup redone for the new
That's right.
show.
That's right. I got to
Yeah,
primp. Yep.
yeah. You gotta go have the hairdresser and all that. Is it Jason? Is he affiliated with the show? He is affiliated with the show. Yes,
He's affiliated with his channel. I
he's on his channel.
yes.
I don't know which channel you're on, Snob. I don't know which one you're coming in on. I'm not.
For those that don't know, the show here, Bad News Bards, is broadcast on Sci-Fi for Me TV and Tennessee Tabletop Tavern.
Yes, and if you are not a member of Tennessee Tabletop Tavern, please sub. Look for Tennessee Tabletop Tavern, and we definitely need the subs. We can't do super chats or anything like that on it. Jason can, but I'm slowly working our way up to 100. I think we're at 40. So, anybody, just look for Tennessee Tabletop Tavern. It's got this little. Oh, let me see. Do I have it? I don't have it handy. Yeah. Any rate. Um. Oh yeah, I do. Here we go. Graphics. Boom. Look for that symbol. Can you see it? Did it show up? That's the little logo. So
There you go.
if you see that, you've got the right one. Um, Give me a sub on it. But yeah, Jason's been in the biz since 2009, and uh, he definitely needs subs too. So, but hopefully with this special episode we're going to do on the 28th. Am I right on that? That's
Mhm.
when we're scheduled for it. I think that one we're going to try and multi-stream or
Okay.
multicast.
Okay.
So
Good
yeah,
night,
I think
DM
I'll.
Bloodworth.
Hmm?
I'm just saying good night, DM Bloodworth.
Oh, good night, Bloodworth. Yeah, yeah. Have a great evening. Thanks, we appreciate it. Yeah, he did a pretty marathon stream too. So, um, but any rate. So, anything else to wrap up with?
No,
What have they been guessing? Yeah,
don't say. Don't say.
I don't say.
No, I think I'm done, and I appreciate the great chat tonight. A lot of good conversation. So appreciate
Yeah,
everybody coming.
yeah. Agile, hit me up. Maybe we can do a game. We'll come up and I'll talk to Cam and
Yeah,
we'll.
take mercy on me.
Yeah, I'm down to play. God knows I haven't. I don't know what your schedule is like, Cam. We'll have to figure that out. And Agile, I know is I think you're West Coast, aren't you? So, um, so he's 3 hours behind me. Not that that matters to me because I'm up late every night. I work, until 8 p.m. ish. So
I'd make it work.
you'd make it work. There you go.
Yep.
There you go. All right, James. Take care. Yes, I do have a fishing pole, kind of, sort of, but I got a lot of lakes around me. Rivers too, especially this some river called the Tennessee River is near me.
Hmm.
Really, I think it runs right through downtown, not but Knoxville. and I have to drive over it 3 times if I go anywhere. But, any rate. All right, everybody, I'm gonna go ahead and roll the credits, and, we will be out of here. We will see you in the new year, and we will have more guests and more stuff and more topics and more gaming stuff to talk about, and, we'll see you.
Yep. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.